Alright, so continuing our progress on hacker rank and trying to improve our skills. So, here we go. Alright, staircase details. This is a staircase of size n equals 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, great. Its base and height are both equal to n. So 4. Okay, yeah. And it's drawn using the hashtag symbol and spaces. Okay, cool. The last line is not preceded by any spaces. Sure. Write a program that prints a staircase of size n. Okay. Complete staircase function with the following parameters: int n. So print a staircase as described above, and a value should be returned. Note that the last line, not preceded by any spaces, all lines are right aligned. Okay. Let's see what we have here. So we just are given the input. Okay, whatever. Oh, right, and I had my thing in some weird... Hold on. Let's change it back to the normal one. There we go. Okay. So, what do I want to do with this? I want to have an array which will be of size n, okay, and then each time from the back I'll fill in the hashtag. So I want something like this. How will I do that? Array equals empty array, and then for in range length of n, okay, array dot append, and I want to append an open space as the parameter. Okay, there we go. So now I can do what? I should be able to have a pointer to the last element in the array. So pointer is going to be equal to length of n minus 1. So we're pointing at the last thing, okay? And then what now do I want to do? I want to do for I in range, and we'll figure out this later right there. If I do that, actually I could just start at the end and go to 0. So for the start is going to be here, stop is going to be -1 because it's non-inclusive, and we are decreasing by 1. And so now I is going to be our pointer. Okay, so first what I want to do is I want to change that element in my array to be a hashtag. Okay, so array dot, or no, indexed at I is going to equal the character hashtag. Okay, then what I want to do is print, and what do I want to do? I want to take this array and I want to turn it into a string. Okay. So now I want to, can I do something like this? Dot join array. So it's going to join all of the elements with no spaces together. But because each element is a space, it's going to have no space between the space elements. So I think that will work right there. And then we should just be able to do that. Let's see, so we start at length of n, and so I is going to be outside the bounds of the array at first, because let's say that there's 4 right here. So length is going to be equal to 4 because there's 4 elements, and then we're going to say index 4. Well, that's not right, because look at this, 0, 1, 2, 3. So we actually want to index this third one right here. So that's why we have to do that. And now this should be good because we're going to end at 0. And we can change the 0th index. I think that's okay. Let's see, maybe, let's see. No. Staircase of n. Maybe I didn't look at my thing. Oh, okay, well. N is just the actual item. Okay. And n is going to be equal to how many elements there are, right? So n is 4, so 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah. Okay, let's see if that works. Okay. Submit code, awesome. There we go. Next one. Where's the next button? Here it is. All right. Given 5 positive integers, find the minimum and maximum values that can be calculated by summing exactly 4 of the 5 numbers. Okay? Then print the respective minimum and maximum values as a single line of 2 space separated long integers. Okay, let's read that again. So this is a maximization problem. That's the first thing. I don't like how this has that there. Can you just like go away? Okay. Yes, high contrast. Thank you. Okay, so first thing that I notice is it's a maximization problem. So we're asked to find the maximum and minimum, okay, that can be calculated by summing exactly 4 of the 5 integers. So I'm always going to have 5 integers, is that correct? All right, so essentially, what does that mean? What does the maximum mean? That means I disregard the minimum element in the array, and conversely, when I'm trying to find the minimum value, I just look at I find the maximum element and disregard that one. So, okay. I'm given an array. Awesome. And the minimum sum is this. The function prints those 2 things, okay? Complete the minimum maximum function with the following parameters: array 5 with an array of 5 integers. Okay. So now what do we want to actually print? Print 2 space separated integers on one line, the minimum sum and the maximum sum of the 4 of 5 elements. No value should be returned. For some languages like C, C++, and Java, the sum may require that you use a long integer due to its size. Okay, well, I'm in Python, I don't need to worry about that. A single line of 5 space separated integers. That's the input. Okay. So they are giving us the input, and we're stripping off all things to the side of the input, then we are splitting it on spaces and turning it into an array. Then we are casting each element from a string to an integer, and then we're making it a list. And that's going to be this array. Okay, so then that array is passed into here. Awesome. So, now what? I need to find the maximum and minimum value. So, I'm thinking about, is there any like log in way of finding it? Is the array sorted? First off, did it say anything about sorting the array? I'm noticing that these are in sorted order. So input a single line of 5 space separated integers. It doesn't say anything about the array actually being sorted. So otherwise, if it's not sorted, I think we do have to use in, or big O of n, time complexity. So if we're doing that, we can do my sum is equal to sum of array, and then I can do answer is equal to an empty list, and then I can do min val is equal to negative, actually it would be positive, like, I don't know, what was it? Infinity? Does it, no it's not, okay, whatever. 9999999. Max value is going to be equal to negative 9999999. Okay. Awesome. Now, what do I want to do? I want to find the min and max value. So I can just do for element in array if element is less than min value, then update min value. If element is greater than max val, then update max val is equal to element. Alright, so we do that for all of the values, and then what I want to do is it wants the minimum value first. Is that correct? So min goes first. Okay, fine. So answer dot append like this, and then I can say my sum minus, and I want to exclude the max value in order to get the min value. Max val, okay, and then do the same thing. Okay, now print. What do I want? A space separating them, right? Okay. Dot join, and then answer like that. I think this should work. I think so. Let's see. expected string instance int found. Okay. Oh, because I'm adding these as integers and it's not smart enough to just do that. Okay. Okay. Now, what I actually want to try is, I don't normally do like print, like formatted print. What is it? We're working in Python, what, 3 or what? I don't know. Where is that? Python 3, so that should be print, and then you do F like this. And I could do, was it brackets? And my sum minus max value, and then space bracket my sum minus min val. I think this is valid. Let's just see. I'm just doing it 2 ways to just make sure that just to reinforce things in my head. Okay, whatever. Awesome. There we go. Great. Let's go to the next one. Where is the next button? Here it is. Okay, wait, this came back up. I don't want light mode. Okay. You're in charge of the cake for a child's birthday. Okay, so by the way, this is kind of what I was meaning by a story problem, as opposed to leak code, where the leak code is just very cut and dry. When I was doing the online assessment, it was something like this, where I had a story, and it was talking about, oh, server I and of this of K, and these, how do you swap that to maximize the output of the server. And it was just like, it was a story problem. I was like, yo, what's going on here? So this is kind of what I'm meaning. Like when I'm doing leak code, it's very just like, here's the question, here it is. But this one is like, you have a birthday. Okay, well, normally leak code problems aren't like that. Now, I don't know, maybe this question is like super easy. But anyways. Well, the point I'm trying to get at is hackerrank seems to have more of these story type of problems, whereas leak code is just more to the point. And the thing in leak code is like, how do you actually do the problem? But eventually we're going to get to more advanced stuff here in hackerrank as well, because there's a whole bunch of topics, and right now we are just doing the warm up. So yeah, we're just doing warm up. All right. You're in charge of the cake for a child's birthday. It will have 1 candle for each year of their age, okay? You will only be able to blow out the tallest of the candles. Your task is to count how many candles are the tallest. Wait, so tallest is... Oh, there can be a tie. Okay. So the tallest candles are 4 units high. There are 2 candles with the highest. So the function should return 2. Okay. Complete the function birthday cake candles with the following parameters. Int candles I returns an int. Input format, the first line contains a single integer in. Okay. And then we're given the array of sizes. Alright, so how do we want to do this? We want to So at first I was thinking like a dictionary where I have a key value, right? Where key is going to be the number, and the value is going to be the frequency at which that number was found. Um, but I need some way of actually keeping track of which is the maximum value that I found. But actually, I can just keep that in a separate variable, so it's whatever. So my dictionary is equal to a dictionary where I have key and I have a value. The value is going to be frequency and the key is going to be what? Number. Okay. So now I want to find the max. Max height is going to be equal to 0 right now. So for element in candles, okay. Now what do I want to do? I want to say if element is larger than or equal to max height, because if it's equal to, it could, in this case, I get the 4, and I'm going to change that, my max height, to be equal to the element. Okay. And then when I come here, I am going to, I need to increase it. But my max height is already 4. So I want to say, well, if it's still 4, I want to increase it. But if it's a 1, I don't even care. I'm not going to add it to my dictionary. I don't care. So now I do my dictionary indexed at element, okay, and then plus equals 1. So then I should be able to, what do we want to do? Return an int, the number of candles. So I can return my dictionary indexed at max height, which will give me the frequency. Okay, let's see. Oh, it doesn't like that. Run code. What's the error message? My dictionary of element. Oh, right. I'm stupid. Default dict, like that. Does it not like that? What is it, collections? I don't know. It's still squiggly. Okay, well this one, this is just some random thing. I don't really care about it. Okay, yeah, I was right that it, oh, I need int. Still not happy with it? From collections, import default dict. Come on, test case 3. Okay, there we go. Awesome. So I just need to remember that this is not a default added configuration in hackerrank. So I just need to import it myself. Okay, fine. So let's just keep going. I don't know. Given a time in 12-hour AM PM format, convert it to military time. Note that 12 a.m. on a 12-hour clock is 0000. Okay. On a 24-hour clock, 12. Okay. So 12 a.m. is meaning midnight. Okay. Complete the time conversion function with the following parameters. String of S, a time in 12-hour format returns a string in time of 24. So 222 and then the letters. So the seconds are always going to be the same. The minutes are always going to be the same. It is only the hour that is going to need to change. Furthermore, we are only going to have two elements in both the standard time or the AM PM format and in the 24-hour format. Okay, so we don't need to add an extra element or take away an element or any of that. Although they didn't quite, oh, I guess they do. So 00. So what I was going to say is, are they going to be upset at a padded 0? For example, if it is 3 p.m. or 3 a.m. and I return 03, like that. The other thing is, here is this actually going to be padded? So maybe what I can do is find if it's AM or PM, which is always going to be the second to last letter. So, is AM is equal to my string indexed at -2. So -1 is going to be here, -2 is going to be there, equal to the character A. If that is the case, then this should be true. Okay. And just to be explicit, I want to make sure that I'm doing that. Okay. So now, if we have that, I should be able to get rid of the AM or PM at the end of my string. So I guess I'll need to turn everything into a number anyways. So input num, input array is going to be equal to s. So what is the opposite? It's not join, because join is taking and creating a string off of it, right? This one is going to be split. I don't want to split off of those ones. Off of these things. So s dot split, is it like this? And then I need to go s equals s sliced from the beginning to -2, because I don't want to include this. Okay. And this should be non-inclusive, so it will be, I'm not including this one. Okay. Then, so at this point, my input array should have 3 items. 1, 2, 3, okay? And the 0th index should be this right here, the hours. So now I want to say if is AM, so actually I want to say if not is AM, then we're in PM right now. So what are we going to do? We are going to take that hours element and we are going to add 12 hours to it. Next up, the 0th one plus equals 12, okay. Otherwise, if it's PM, sorry, if it's AM, we just leave it, except if the case, if it's equal to 12. So else if elif input array indexed at 0 is equal to 12, then we want to change that. So input array indexed at 0 is now equal to, alright, and this will actually pad 0. That's not fun. It's going to take away all of those. Okay, I don't like my implementation anymore. I'm gonna hashtag that out just because. Alright, so. Hours is equal to. The first two elements in this array, which is going to be equal to S indexed at the 0th element, okay, times 10 plus S equal, or indexed at the 1th element. Okay, so like if it's, let's say that it's 12, okay, well this is going to be equal to 1, and then I'm going to multiply it by 10, so that's 10, plus this one is going to be 2, so 10 plus 2 is going to be 12. Okay. So now I have the hours, and I want to say a similar thing of if is AM, okay, if it is AM, hours, actually that's wrong, but I'll fix that in a second, plus equals 12. So if not AM, so for in PM we need to add those hours, okay? LF hours is equal to zero. Okay, and we need to cast these, so string of here, like that, and then, nope, sorry, int of here, int of there, okay, is if it's equal to 0, that's not correct, if it's equal to 12, then we want to change hours is equal to 0. Okay, now we need to just go into this string here. So I'm going to say S indexed at 0 is going to be equal to something. S indexed at 1 is also going to be equal to something, and then we are going to return S. So that's our path forward. Okay. So in this case, it can either be greater than 10 or less than 10. Because if it's 20, then we don't care if our first index is a 1 or a 2. Let's see. Actually, maybe I can do string of hours modulo 10. Okay, so actually integer division 10, I think. So if we are under 10, this is going to go to 0, and then it's going to cast it as a string and save that into there. If it's 12, it's going to go and it's going to get 1. Put that as a string, put it in there. If it's 20 or above, it's going to get a 2, put that in there. Then this one, I want to get the string of... can you please get out of my way? Hours. And this one is going to be modulo 10, because I'm going to get the digits place. Okay. And I already stripped away the AM PM. What do you think? What do you think? Is it going to work? Let's see. No, it didn't. Okay, so let's see what syntax error. Does not support. I believe it does. You should be able to index a string. String object does not support item. Okay. So if this is 0, integer division by 10, that's fine. It should be okay. Hours is, this is an integer here, multiplied by 10, plus another integer, so this is going to be an integer. Okay. Then we're adding, doing an equivalency to an integer, or setting to an integer. Here's an integer as well. So hours will always be an integer. Integer division by 10. So this comes out to be an int. Then we're turning it to a string and setting it here. Yeah, it should be okay. Let's see. Okay. So this assumes s of 0 and s of 1 are individual digits, but s is a string like this. So s of 0 is this, and s of 1 is 7. Try modifying a string like a list. Strings are immutable in Python. You can't assign S of 0. So remember how I said that I hate doing I never do string manipulations in Python, so here's kind of one of the things. So I don't know, I'll cast this as, well, hello there. Hi. All right, and we are back. So trying to figure out how to do the string manipulations, because Python does not let you change strings, which is awesome. It does kind of showcase one thing, which is moving over to hackerrank. Since I was doing leak code and now moving over to hackerrank, there is an aspect that you're able to find those blind spots that you didn't know about, because I never do string manipulations within Python. Like, it's this type of thing I haven't really dealt with much at all, but it's good that I get exposure to different things that, okay, whatever. Find my blind spots and be able to be competent in that. So trying to figure out, like, okay, well, how am I going to do this? Just thinking about casting this. What do I want to do? I'm going to get so this is going to be a string, and then I want to get my normal string plus S. So I'm assigning this to a new string and then return new string. I don't know if this is going to work, but we'll see if it does. Just run code, see if I get a compilation error. So we did not get a compilation error. My output is here. Oh, I need to add that little dot, but that's also not, wait, hold on. So I got the 19, and I need to delete that, okay. So, it'll be plus this one, like that, okay, like this, and then S is going to be sliced. So I start at the, where do I want to start? So it is going to be like here, and I want to start here, right? Or no, I'm going to include the colon. So 0, 1, and then start at 2. Okay, so starting at 2, going to the end. Okay, let's see if that works. Wait, right. It is in between here, okay. So plus like that. Is this going to be correct? Because now we are actually going to be including this one right there. So actually, I think we don't need this. Yeah, should be okay. There we go. Okay. Submit code. Come on, come on, come on. No, why? Is it because of those stupid zeros? No, because zeros should pass this as well. Okay, whatever. I don't care. To ensure that ours is always 2 digits. Period is the last two, okay. Hour is going to be up to there. The rest is going to be in between, okay. It's this 12. Yep. Else, if the hour is not equal to 12, so 12 p.m. Oh, maybe that's what's going on. If it's a.m., so if hours does not equal 12, then we add 12. Yeah, because if it's 12 a.m., okay, sure. There we go. Okay, good. Thank goodness. Let's get rid of this question. I never want to see this question. Go. Next challenge. Get it, get it out of here. Okay. Whenever George asks Lily to hang out, she's busy doing homework. George wants to help her finish it faster, but he's in over his head. Can you help George understand Lily's homework so she can hang out with him? Okay. Consider an array of indistinct integers. Array of 0, 1, 2, okay. George can swap any two elements in the array any number of times. An array is beautiful if the sum of the absolute value of the array I and the previous one among 0 to n is minimal. Given the integer, or given the array, determine and return the minimum number of swaps that should be performed in order to make the array beautiful. Okay, yeah. So actually, I think I'm going to take a little bit of a break right now. This problem is kind of what I'm talking about when I'm meaning that I kept getting those confusing questions. So this is actually a pretty good one to work through. So I'm going to do it in the next video. I'm probably going to get some coffee, even though it's, what, 10:30? Convert that to a string. Anyways, yeah, so I'm going to take a little bit of a break, get some coffee, and be back in the next video. If that is interesting to you, subscribe, and I'd love to have you along in the journey, and I will see you guys very soon.